Hello everyone, Willem here. Welcome to a slightly ticked off version of me. There's not going to be any hardcore editing or any of that stuff, but before we start, I thought I would add some sort of humor in the beginning of the clip. This is some glitch that I found in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I actually really like the game, but I thought I'd show it to you because I've got to show this to someone. This happened a few months ago, so yeah, enjoy. You like that? You really do? You like looking at Call of Duty? Yeah, you like that? Yeah, good. All right, let's get that over and done with. There's your humor for the video. The rest of this video is not going to be too humorous, I'm afraid. This is a video that has been requested by a lot of people, specifically a lot of people from the GMOD community that I'm very close to, and from the some of my friends and some other YouTubers that I will not disclose in this video. In fact, I'm not going to disclose too many names in this video, but I kind of need to get this out of my system because it has been frustrating me for the last few months now. And I just want to say right now that I have been a big Garry's Mod user for a very long time. And may not say it on Steam, but I've been using and playing Garry's Mod ever since I was like 13 or 14. And it's been a big part of my life, and I really did love it. I was there when you had to download Garry's Mod add-ons in garrysmodaddons.org, and you had to do it manually instead of through the workshop. And I think once the workshop came, you know, sort of this hatred towards, or this immaturity towards Garry's Mod started to begin. But we'll talk about that a little later, because I think right now I kind of want to address the issue. A lot of people have been complaining about how immature the Garry's Mod community has become, how young it has become, and how do I say this, how cruel people have become towards each other. And it's just, it's been something that has been occurring for a very long time, and a lot of people have asked for my view on it, and honestly I think it's even worse than that, especially coming out of Garry's Mod from years and years ago. The Garry's Mod community used to have a lot of dark humor and just wanted to have fun. They didn't take anything seriously. They released add-ons because they wanted to have their imaginations actually come true. And I think Garry's Mod is one of the very few games that actually allows people to have their dreams to come true in this scenario. I remember when I was a kid, for instance, I used to love flying around as some clone troopers doing like zombie fights against droids. I would change the NPCs to droids, and that was like sort of my big highlight for the whole show there. For the whole game in general. And like there were many others, like when I used to make videos on RP servers. I'm not a big fan of RP servers, but like those were the days where I really enjoyed it with my good friend Noah, which you may have remembered from a couple of videos from years and years ago now, like 2 or 3 years ago, which is a long time, and in YouTube wise. And you know, it's sort of goes, what goes around comes around, because this community has changed a lot. You know, it has definitely become younger, and it's because of people like me that I think the community has also become immature. And let me explain that a little later on. Personally, in my view, I think the community is gotten to the point that it's so bad that it's close to uncurable. And you have to you have to do a lot of actions to actually prove that this community has really downscaled itself. So I'm going to give a few examples today of scenarios that have affected, well, not affected me, but that have directly annoyed me over the last few months, if not probably a year. So the first situation was that I was contacted by my good friend TFA a few months ago. This is like 4 or 5 months ago, about GBros MC. GBros MC was a guy who made a lot of mods that I reviewed as well, along with TFA. Personally, I had no recollection of really fighting against these two, but there was a fight between them for a about a week or so. About TFA kicking out GBros MC from his community Steam page, Steam group, sorry. And what happened is, and this is just a perfect example of how immature the GMOD community has become. Instead of acting rationally about it, GBros MC decided to make a video about TFA stealing code. So here's the video, or little snippets of the video, to give you an idea of what apparently why TFA is stealing code, or how he is stealing code. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. Apparently, Clustercuff, which is a game mode that I made with TFA, apparently he copied and pasted the game mode folder and called it Clustercuff. That was it. I can tell you this right now, that's not what happened. We were ambitious and we decided to make a game mode, and coincidentally we made it in 48 hours. I did it because it's part of my portfolio work for university, which I will talk about another time. And I really, really needed to do something that was fun and addictive. We even had servers and all kinds of stuff. It was fantastic. So I know he didn't steal any code for there, because we had to be 100% foolproof. He then says that he stole sounds, which were Quake sounds, which I can tell you right now, anyone could get these sounds because they're free to use. This is, don't forget, a modification of the original Quake sounds. So even then, it's completely free. So then he makes some statements about people showing how bad he is. So he actually doesn't prove that TFA is stealing at this point. Now, this is just a little snippet of the whole scenario, but what actually happened afterwards is TFA got involved, and then he started fighting, which, wrongly so, by the way, and I commented and I told him to stop being childish, and immediately he calls me a fanboy, which makes no sense because I had both of them as my friends on Steam, and it really, really was becoming quite clear to me that this community was really not learning, because this is like one of like a billion examples that I heard every day, and coincidentally I was thrown in it, and that's again one of those. And this seems to be a trend that a lot of kids seem to report other Steam users and call them for stealing their content online, which makes no sense, because add-ons, for starters, and modifications are completely free to use, and they require no money, so therefore there's no reason to ban someone from stealing content as of such. And TFA, of all people, doesn't do that, so it makes no sense whatsoever. To be honest, both parties are wrong in this situation, but we'll talk about that another time. What I do want to talk about is something that also has been occurring quite a lot, and that's the fact that a lot of people clearly don't get the message, for instance, that, to prove, by the way, that a lot of people are becoming very immature in this community. I made a video a few months ago talking about people to stop spamming me with messages. I mean, it's amazing that people still don't get this message whatsoever. I still get messages. I mean, this is literally, it's now, what, 1 o'clock in the morning right now. And I should be in bed, but I'm making this because out of pure frustration, actually, of people just messaging me. Like, look how many tabs there are at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sleeping. What do you guys want? And they're all messages about talking about how people are stealing the other person's mods or starting to play with them on a sandbox server. Guys, I like Gary's mod, but I'm not going to play Gary's mod like hardcore like a lot of you. Don't get me wrong, you know, I'm a very generalized individual. I play all kinds of games, and I do take it quite seriously, each and every one of them, but I will not play a game like Gary's mod, which I've played to death now, over and over and over again. And I love that even, which you can see sort of in the video I'm using right now, which is some Project Cars clip. I even write Delta Alpha 05 working no IM. The last few months, all I've been doing is work. I've barely had any time to really do anything else. When I do make videos, I make it really late in the evening, which is the reason why my US visitors, viewers get it in the afternoon, and my European users get it in the morning, or very early in the morning, for these reasons alone. And I'm not able to sleep because of work, and yet people are still messaging me. You guys still don't get the message. And it's just amazing. I've also, without putting anyone's names out there, there's several people, other YouTubers that have been messaging me that they've been getting death threats from people. Partly because they criticize one another's mods, or they criticize something, or they made a joke about something, and they offered something in return, and therefore they should die in a hole. You do realize, guys, that the internet is surprisingly a very small place in the end of the day. A lot of you younger viewers don't understand right now, but in a few years' time, when you go and apply for a job, and you say these things, you will be in big trouble, because immediately people are going to disregard you, and they're not going to find you, how do I say it, very appropriate for a certain job position, because of the way you've been behaving, the way that you've been behaving so inaccurately. It's just incredible how people showcase themselves sometimes in this rather daft community. And the thing is, what I don't understand, which, forgive me if I'm wrong at this point, Gary's mod is supposed to be a fun game, but none of this is fun. Why am I making a video about how immature the Gary's mod community is? And don't get me wrong, I still get death threats from a lot of GMOD members. And, you know, I mean, recently I've also been getting a lot of threats from people. People are spamming my messages, which I presume are actually from Gbros MC, which I don't know what I ever did wrong to him. If anything, I've even been on his servers. You know, I've reviewed his mods. A lot of people know that if people send me a mod, I try to review it, and I try to do my very best to please you guys. Well, I don't really review it, I highlight it so that a modder can get more views. But clearly I'm in the wrong if I miss out one thing. It's like a weird version of OCD and autism blended together. It makes no sense, honestly. And I just don't really understand right now why the community is behaving like this. And then it dawned to me, which comes to the point I'm trying to make right now. YouTube has sort of enforced a lot of these younger fans to get onto the Gary's mod community. I'm not going to mention any big YouTubers for many reasons, but a lot of big YouTubers now have all of a sudden discovered Gary's mod, and they scream and shout in front of the microphone. And yes, I mean, one of my very good friends, one of my best friends, Steven, aka Takoji Challenges, he screams in a microphone, but at least he's normal when he does it, and a lot of you still like his content. But there's the very extreme side that shout and get a lot of views from a lot of the younger viewers, and they draw their attention to this community. You know, they're not the reason why the community is immature, but they bring a lot of these conflicts and frustration because they don't know how to react, and it sort of degrades a lot of users that are, well, having experience in this industry with gaming, etc., you know, it does degrade a lot of people that make content because they want to make something that people will enjoy and that they will also get satisfaction from. And a lot of people are very sensitive, surprisingly, towards this. And it does neglect a lot of people in general. It's honestly very sad that the Garry's Mod community has gone down to this. And honestly, there's not really much I can say. I could say I could tell you my view, like how I've been feeling the last few months. You know, I've had a lot of big sagas that a lot of you know. I've had the fight with Angels Are Crazy, with Level, but Level and I, you know, we talk to each other as much as we can. Although I haven't actually heard anything from him. He still messages me at the wrong time, but he's still a good guy, and I have no hard feelings with him, nor with even Tay, but Tay has went in another direction, I guess. And it just really didn't make, you know, these situations are all because people can't take criticism or that they can't do a lot of things. I'm not a very big YouTuber. I really am not. Okay, yes, I have an amazing fan base and you guys are awesome, and I have 1,500 subscribers, which is, I mean, I couldn't believe that about a year ago. And yet I have it, and I take it a lot for granted, and yeah, it is a little bit my fault to enforce it. I have to be honest with you, it has left me very upset with the game. I'm not very happy anymore making videos, you know, and a lot of you know that, you know, I've had a lot of breaks in between, or I call them breaks, but this is true. I've actually been skipping making YouTube videos because I've just not felt very happy. You know, I've not really enjoyed it as much. Clearly, a lot of people haven't really noticed it, but I have said to a lot of people privately that I haven't enjoyed making YouTube videos as much as I did before. I do love making YouTube videos, but I do it, the reason why I still do it is because of you guys, because I love making YouTube videos, and I love making videos in general. And I love Garry's Mod, you know, and Dove, you know, I criticize it as much as I want, but I still love Garry's Mod. You know, it's a fun game with some crazy people that are involved, and it's the stupidest video game you'll ever see in your whole life. But it is a fantastic video game as well. That our dreams become reality in these games, probably far more than Minecraft, which is blasphemy probably for a lot of you. But I'm really legit about that. But the thing is that it's really brought me down. I've not been as happy as I was before. You know, and it really has brought a depression to me. I mean, there are far more things that would get me depressed at this point in time, but it has really taken a toll on me, this community. It's no longer the community that has got a lot of dark, nice humor. It's a community of not very original people. A lot of the contents that you have seen before have, the content creators are no longer these, you know, older teenagers or university students that are making the stupidest things on the planet. It's now, you know, a lot more younger creators who are making sound sweeps and all that kind of stuff, which you've all seen already, or have imported old maps from the Garry'sMod.org website or from Game Banana. Now, these are just one of like 6 trillion examples. And it's true that the community has become less and less creative, as does a lot of games that sort of go past their product life cycle. But Garry's Mod is a game that is very important to a lot of people. And the reason why I do videos is because I understand that. You know, I really want to make as many videos as I possibly can based on it. But I found this one niche which was making reviews of certain mods. And a lot of people love these mods. So yeah, that's my view on the GMOD community. And honestly, there are probably far more truths to it. I mean, there's a lot of videos showing how pathetic it can be. I think there's this video about this kid who gets banned from a Life Punch or Face Punch server. I think it's Life Punch or Lemon Punch server, and immaturely. That's literally the Gary's Mod community, and it's just so bad. It's so cringeworthy, and it's so pathetic as well. You know, I mean, there's a lot of communities that are renowned for that. You know, there's the bronies. I mean, I know a lot of bronies, which I don't know why, because I know nothing about My Little Pony, for instance. And they don't behave like the way that a lot of people do behave in the Gary's Mod community, and even they think the cringiest people from their community, you know, the ones that do all this weird stuff that people make viral videos of, they even are laughing at how immature the Gary's Mod community is. So I can't say I'm going to quit the GMOD community because it won't make a big enough impact. But I do employ a lot of big-time YouTubers that do care about Gary's Mod, that actually do care about what's going on, to actually literally say to your fan base, guys, enough's enough. This is not how you run a GMOD community. This is not how we run. We love this game, but still, come on. It's pathetic to start fighting and making videos and acting irrationally over certain situations. And, you know, I really love the guys that make mods. You know, that's why I make videos. I make it for them. I make it for you guys, because I do believe that the Gary's Mod is one of the most creative video games out there. I still think that. But it all comes down to you guys. And, you know, if you guys don't realize how much it has impacted me, then I don't know what does. You know, I don't know what will make you somewhat sympathetic. This is not a video about being sympathetic, but this is a video about telling you what effects it does have on people and what it can do in the near future. You know, criticism is a very important way of life. If you don't like criticism, if you don't like getting told off, then you really shouldn't be involved in this community. You shouldn't be involved with making video games, because criticism in general will apply to everything you do. And I can assure you, the best people around the world, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, the Albert Einsteins, the Michael Schumachers of this world, they all take criticism because that is their biggest strength. It employs talent and employs people doing better in life. Anyway, I've ranted a lot. I hope you guys are well, and please listen to me. Please, oh, please listen to me. You know, that how-to click video was just like the beginning of me snapping out of control, and this video is just the next step. Because I don't know what else I can say anymore. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.